Welcome, beautiful yogis, to Restorative Yoga. We are here to relax, to renew ourselves, to reset, relax our muscles, and connect with our essence. Come to your opening pose. This is the open book pose. We've got 2 blocks under the bolster, and we sit not on the bolster, but next to it, and then we lie down, full central, along the bolster, your arms dropping away to each side, and your knees also dropping away to each side, soles of the feet lining up. And your heart space now, right in the middle, right in the middle. And so find the alignment, the centeredness, and the ease of this shape. And make sure that you are comfortable, as we're going to be here for a few minutes, and we'll be here to connect on all those levels that I mentioned. Please take a lovely deep nose breath in. Make it a big one, and a big one. Hold your breath. Please blow this breath away. Next incoming breath through your nose. Ballooning to fullness, the little holding moment, and then blowing it away. And let's do one or more of these. Nose in. You feel that filling, that rising, that expanding, and now hold, and hold, and hold, and now blow it away. Let your mouth drop closed. The incoming breath is through the nose. A little hovering moment, and now the exhaling breath also through the nose. Feels different, can you tell? Nose in. And nose out. And so here we are, at the beginning of our practice together, breathing together, lying together. Even though we are in separate spaces, we are so connected together, connected through the portals of technology, the vibration that we are each putting into the field. So it's not only what you are hearing from us, but it's also what is generating within you. That is part of the healing field that we create together. Beautiful inhalation, soft, gentle exhalation. And in this way we are tuning into the thread of life itself that breathes through us and is, in fact, that which keeps us connected to all that is while we live in this very breathing body. And so we can treasure this breathing. Treasure the feeling of it and how it incrementally changes how we feel. And so if we arrived here a little frazzled, this is the way we unfrazzle. We unfrazzle with each beautiful incoming and outgoing breath. And so this way of breathing consciously is not new. It was, in fact, written about in the most ancient of the Vedas, the books of knowledge that underlie the teachings of all of yoga. So they knew, those Vedics, this breath and what it can do, and what, in fact, the breath is. So much more than what we, as we go about our day-to-day business, realize. So we're going to share a little bit of the texts as you lie and breathe. It's poetry. It speaks to the part of the brain that's not analytical, and the part of us that can open to imagery that comes to us from years and years and eons ago. And it's talking about the breathing and the body. And it is about the direct experience. That means not thinking about, but directly experiencing. The way of experience begins with a breath. Such a breath as you are breathing now. Awakening into luminous reality may dawn in the momentary throb between any two breaths. Exhaling, breath is released and flows out, and there is a pulse as it turns to flow in. In that turn, you are empty. Enter that emptiness as the source of all life. Inhaling, breath flows in, filling, nourishing. And just as it turns to flow out, there is a flash of pure joy. Life is renewed. Life is renewed, dear yogi, with each breath that we could even consider breathing us. It is happening, and we are aware of it. We are participating. And so it's not only the incoming, it's that little pause at the top, the outgoing, and the empty space at the end. And even if you've done this before and you've experienced this before, today is new. This is a new breath. This is a new body where you rest. The cells have been renewing themselves. And your wisdom body knows. As you have done this before, you know also how beautiful it is to participate in this again. Again in this very incoming breath. The pause, the exhalation, and the little pause again. The world is in motion in our very bodies. And in that realization, what becomes more quiet is the thinking mind. The thinking mind that keeps us awake at night and prevents us from experiencing this. So give your attention fully. Give yourself to this completely. And if it's easy, see if you can prolong the gaps between the breaths. So that it becomes a natural pause, a little longer. Then the exhalation and the little pause on the empty moment, just a little longer. And you might, as you breathe in this way, notice that you are almost, or perhaps completely, breathing a square. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause, the same length. And so we've just segued into a very specific pranayama, a very specific way to move prana. Invite you to do 2 more of these square breaths. And as you come to the very end of that pause, let go the image of square breathing and let your body receive the breath in any way it wants to. Shifting from the focus and the measuring into the natural breath. And that you are the consciousness where this is occurring. Savor and enjoy, luxuriate in that. And so, dear yogis, we're about to change position. So if you've had your feet together in the cobbler's pose, help your knees up together. Separate your feet a little so you can lift your butt up 1 inch or 2 and place it back down. And now slide your right leg straight and your left leg beside it. And draw your toes towards your knees so that you're pushing through your heels and your legs become very stiff and straight. And then relax your legs. Let go that pushing. Take an inhale now. Hold your breath and again activate your legs. Toes pull towards, push through the heels, holding your breath. And then exhale, let your legs relax completely. Breath in. Hold the breath, activate your legs, push through your heels, draw the toes in. And then relax your legs again. Lovely, good. Let's now leave the legs as they are. Attention to your arms. Inhale, bring your arms parallel up towards the vertical axis. And then exhale, take your arms wide out. Now, it might be intense in your shoulders. Now we're at full embracing wide arms. You're waiting for someone to run into your arms. Stretch your arms, breathe in. And now slowly draw your arms back up to the vertical position, facing straight up parallel. Good. Inhale, wide arms. Stretch them wide. Now exhale, draw your arms back up together. One more time. Open the arms wide. Inhale. And draw them up. Exhale. Good. Let your right arm just rest down at your side. The left one is still suspended in the air. And sense that your both legs and your right arm are relaxed. The left one is hanging in the air. Inhale that left arm now beside your left ear. Stretch it long, feel the underarms. Stretch your left leg as well. Hold that stretch for the inhale, leg and arm. And now exhaling, relax your left leg and lower your left arm and allow it to come to rest. Feel that restful left side as the natural breath comes in. Now we inhale the right arm straight up into the air. On the exhale, bring the right arm next to your ear and stretch it long. Stay here for inhale. And now your right leg gets involved as well. Push through the right heel. We've got the arm and the leg fully extended. Stay for one more breath in. And this exhale, slowly lower the arm and let your right leg relax and feel how everything can soften just that little bit more. Please bring your bunion bones together. Straighten your legs, push through both heels, both legs at once, and now both arms at once. Inhale them overhead. Stay for exhaling, pushing through the heels, lengthening through the arms, your whole body now on this bolster, stretching long. Stay for the inhalation, and now exhalation, relax your legs as you let your arms just float back down to come to rest on those blankets at your sides. And can you feel prana flow through your limbs? Lovely, everyone. We complete now this part. Bend your knees and roll over to one side to come up as we rearrange ourselves now for our next shape, which is going to be the child's pose, revolved child's pose. Bolster stays, and we open the blankie to sit on. Nice and smoothed out. And plop your left bum onto it. See that we're sidled up to the bolster. This other blanket's going to support the top leg. So here we are. Hand on each side of the bolster, turn towards the bolster with your rib cage, come forward, right down the middle, and rest on your left ear. Now the arms just find where they can come to stillness. Your legs can be exactly as they are, or you might straighten one of them. Top one, bottom one, no matter. And here we have arrived into that second pose, revolved child's pose, sitting on our left hip, left buttock. The invitation now to feel again your breathing, to see how lovely it is to simply be here, and to bring your breath all the way into your back. To come into this allowing and receiving place. No stretching, no pushing. The simple releasing. So it's altogether possible that as you rest in this shape, you meet discomfort in your body. Perhaps there is a healing happening, you've had surgery, you've had an injury, so many things our bodies go through. And you meet that as you rest here in stillness and breathe and try to hold still. And so the invitation is to allow everything to present itself in your awareness, and as best you can, just allow it to be. In other words, don't struggle against it. This too is part of this moment. And sometimes the moment isn't so wonderful. Sometimes it's difficult. But of course, if it's unbearable, you will just shift and adjust your position till it's slightly better. And then you come back to the allowing place and the feeling of your breath. The breath that comes now deep into your back. And you allow yourself to be here for just about 5 more cycles of your breath. I'll be keeping count. Lovely, everyone, and so we're going to change sides. Do it gently, with loving awareness to your body, placing your hands down, pushing to your knees, or just swiveling on your buttocks. To reverse sides, we're sitting on the right buttock now, and that supported blanket we can bring across to the other side. And we set up exactly the same way. One hand each side of the bolster, lifting and turning towards the right as we lie down. Let the arms slide to where they are at ease. And settle in here. Child's pose. Child's pose allows the body to go really small. Small with that quality of safety, ease, protection. And our dear friend, the breath, flowing through us. Joy now being here, in this place, in this shape. And so wisdom comes to us through the Vedas, but it comes from many sources. It's to be found all around us. Little inspirations, things, words, sights, people, animals, flowers that support us as we rest and heal. I'd like to share a little wisdom from a completely different source. And here it is. What time is it, Pooh? It's now, says Pooh. It occurred to Pooh and Piglet that they hadn't heard from Eeyore for several days. So they put on their hats and coats and trotted across 100-acre wood to Eeyore's stick house. Inside the house was Eeyore. "Hello, Eeyore," said Pooh. "Hello, Pooh. Hello, Piglet," said Eeyore in a glum-sounding voice. "We thought we'd just check in on you," said Piglet, "because we hadn't heard from you, and so we wanted to know if you were okay." Eeyore was silent for a moment. "Am I okay?" he asked eventually. "Well, I don't know, to be honest. Are any of us really okay? That's what I ask myself. All I can tell you, Pooh and Piglet, is that right now I feel really rather sad and alone and not much fun to be around at all, which is why I haven't bothered you, because you wouldn't want to waste your time hanging out with someone who is sad and alone and not much fun to be around at all. Would you now?" Pooh looked at Piglet and Piglet looked at Pooh, and they both sat down, one on either side of Eeyore, in his stick house. And Eeyore looked at them in surprise. "Well, what are you doing?" "We're sitting here with you," said Pooh, "because we are your friends. And true friends don't care if someone is feeling sad or alone or not much fun to be around at all. True friends are there for you anyway. So, here we are." "Oh," said Eeyore. "Oh." And the three of them sat there in silence, and while Pooh and Piglet said nothing at all, somehow, almost imperceptibly, Eeyore started to feel a very tiny little bit better, because Pooh and Piglet were there, no more, no less. Beautiful yogis, let's complete this shape. Let's come into child's pose. This symmetrical shape, protect your knees if they're just a little bit unhappy about this shape. Pop the blanket behind your thighs and lie forward. Or your optional other pose is to lie full frontal on your tummy. Place the bolster now underneath your tummy and lie with your legs extended forward, completely relaxed. So the little lift of your sacrum in this shape just allows a deeper stretch, and it allows lovely space for prana to flow. Let go, drop deeply. Resting and allowing sounds to come to you.
Grandmother, speak to me. I am the earth and the earth is singing. The water flows around this rock. The ancient ways I carry forth, the river carries me. Grandmother, speak to me. I am the earth and the earth is singing. The water flows around this rock. The ancient ways I carry forth, the river carries me. I am the earth, and the earth is singing through me. I am the earth, and the earth is feeling through me. I am the earth, and the earth is breathing through me. I am the earth, and the earth is healing through me. The earth is healing with me. I welcome it all. I welcome all these feelings. I welcome it all. I welcome all these teachings. I welcome it all. I welcome this healing. I welcome it all. I welcome all that life brings, all that life brings. Away, away, all these teachings that this life brings. Away, away, all that this life brings, all this life brings. Away, away, all these teachings that this life brings. Away, away, we are healing. 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 We are We are healing with the earth. We are healing with the earth. We are healing with the earth. We are healing with the earth.
So, beautiful yogis, let's complete this pose, child's pose or crocodile pose, whichever one you picked. Come up gently. Feel free to stretch out your legs if you've been in the child's pose. And we're going to set up now for our seated forward bend. One blanket on which to sit, and one little tabletop prop on which to lean. So, sitting on your blankie, set up your tabletop with your blocks, your bolster. Choose your leg position, either crossed or straddle legs, and then we get to lie forward. Rest your brow on your hands, on your prop, allowing the roundness out of the upper back to lengthen from your tail to your crown, and to be as comfy as you can be in this seated forward bend. You can bring your table up higher with more pillows or blankets, or take it lower if your body is very flexible and can easily go forward like this. So being where you are and letting it all flow through you. So much flows through us. The breath, of course, but we have thoughts and emotions, memories. They all come into the river of our aliveness. So we simply observe that and know that we are consciousness, where all this is happening. That allows us to take one step back and away from identifying with the river of thoughts and emotions. It's just happening. So can you be in that allowing place, even as your spine stretches, even as you rest in the seated forward bend? You can participate a little more actively by breathing into your lower back. You might add those pauses at the top of the breath and at the end of the breath, as we did in our opening pose. So if your mind is active, just give it more to do, to breathe very specifically. continuing for 5 more cycles of your breath. Lovely, everybody. And so now very slowly, gently make your way up to a seated position. And there's a beautiful transition from the forward bend to the upright place. Arrange your legs if they're getting a little stiff from being in the one place. Just stretch them out. But invite you to sit tall for a moment. And with your attention in your body, so rather than looking at the world outside, just have your gaze low and just feel your spinal column. Your spinal column now like the central axis of our body, our torso, like the trunk of a tree. And how, as the tree has roots, we are connected to the ground beneath us. You might even imagine growing roots here, so that we're deeply connected to the earth. And the trunk of the body as tall and reaching, and through the crown of our head we are connected to the space above, the way the trees are as they reach their branches out and up like antennae, receiving signals from above. And so the sense of listening. Your inner gaze could be resting at your brow, and how we are connected to the above and to the below, and how our energy body, where prana flows, has both an upward flow and a downward flow, much like the sap in a tree. And breath comes and goes. And even as we breathe here, we are in resonance with trees. Because what we breathe in is what the tree has breathed out. That's the oxygen. And what we breathe out, the tree breathes in. The CO2. And so the sense as we sit here for a moment in direct relationship to the trees in our environment, the trees on the planet. And you might even think of a tree that you love. And love that one tree. Nice, everybody, and so we'll complete that and lower your chin, and we're going to come now to lying on our backs, and we could do that with the legs up the wall or your legs over this little setup. But we'll be on our backs, and that will feel really good after being a tree. Sometimes that feels hard, and we just lie down. And let it feel good to let your spine completely relax into the earth. Let your legs be held either on your little tabletop or against your wall, where your legs would be completely straightened up the wall. They don't need to be stiffly against the wall. They can just hang in the most relaxed way. Finding a lovely place for your hands, and One place might be your belly or alongside. The hands are on the belly. We stay connected more with the movement of breathing. And the feeling of the lovely slow expanding full inhalation. Now we're going to slow the exhalation down. So letting the breath out more slowly, 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 until we come to the empty place. And we receive again the incoming. A little holding at the top. And then the slowing down of the exhalation. Making sure that you are comfortable. I'm going to guide you with this breathing. The breath is inning, coming, inning. Hold it, please. And now slowly out with the breath. Incoming breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Be full of breath as we hold that now. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're exhaling now for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're on empty. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the exhalation. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as we did, counting silently for yourself. We're on the hold. And ready as you are to exhale. Go do a few more rounds of this. In 4, hold 7, out 8. Stay with it. This is a very particular way of breathing. While it takes our focus, attention and diligence, it does bring our nervous system into a place of beautiful ease and relaxation and letting go. Let's do 2 more cycles and then you'll really begin to feel that. 2 more cycles. So when you get to the end of that long exhale, let go the counting, let go the measuring of the breath, and let the breath breathe you the way it wants to. We do that shift from control to allowing. Lovely, everyone. So if your legs are up the wall, bend your knees and hug them in. You could do that too if you've got your legs over your tabletop. Just bring your knees in, hug them. Give yourself a little hug and a little rock. And then roll over to one side as we set up for our next position. It's going to be the supported bridge pose. So everything changes. The blocks come to the foot end. One blanket will be at the head end, but not on the mat, just above the mat, so we'll not be using it now. And the bolster is going to come under the hips, but I like to come in this way, it seems easier. We lie down and then raise the bottom up to pull the bolster under and let your bum just plop onto the bolster. And then with your feet flat, you're able to just use your elbows also to lift your chest just a little bit. Puff up your chest. And then let your shoulders come down to rest, your arms rest, and then your legs might slide out straight, your feet on or over the blocks. And this is supported bridge pose. And so first, tend your physical body and the sensations that arise, making sure that you are as comfy as can be. And as you yield to gravity, that upper back just resting completely, back of your head resting completely, your lower back resting completely on that bolster. And for some of us that might feel a little intense. Just know that instead of a big old bolster you can use one blankie or two blankies or a softer pillow. Something with not quite the amount of height if your back's complaining here. You can also just keep your knees bent and your feet flat, and that will alleviate the intensity if that is happening for you. Don't need intensity. Let it feel good to be here. So prana is the energy that flows through our body, and we all have prana flowing through us. If we are breathing, if we are alive, prana is flowing. And If you've ever seen a body that's not breathing, a body where the aliveness has left, what has left is prana. And so we know when prana's gone, it's very apparent. Or when prana is low. But we're amplifying prana in this practice by thinking less, relaxing in the present moment more, aligning with body sensations and the resonance of our own aliveness. This increases prana, and prana is a very deeply whole-making, healing force. Prana has wisdom to flow where it's most needed. So be in a place of allowing and trusting. I trust, I trust, trust. Lovely, everyone. We're going to move again. It's not a big move this time. Bring your feet to flat and lift enough to push that bolster down so it's going to be under your thighs, under your knees, and your lower back into the ground. And this might be a moment to be nice to hug your knees in, stretch your lower back, and let your legs just lie out over the bolster. And now you could reach for that pillow blankie above your head and pop it under your head so that we have a little support here. Snuggle your back, roll your head a little side to side. Coming now into the final pose of our practice, Shavasana. And we'll do a little blessing here in Shavasana as you lie here, and it's placing, placing attention. It is a Vedic practice. It moves prana too, but with a very specific intention, which now would be to bless. So go down to your feet and your awareness, and we'll bless our feet with a single breath, an inhale and an exhale at the level of your feet. It's a gratitude to your feet. Draw your awareness now up to your knees and bless your knees with a breath. Bring your awareness now to your pelvic region, your lower belly, your lower back, your hips. We'll bless this area with a breath. Awareness now moving up to your heart. Bless your heart with a breath of gratitude. Coming up to your throat. Bless your throat. You can feel the breath here. And now the awareness coming to your brow, your third eye point. Place a blessing breath, anointing your brow. Right hand, anoint your right hand with your breath. And now your left hand. Our whole body blessed. Sacred vessel for consciousness itself. Receive this knowing and this rest. So beautiful yogis. We complete our practice now with bringing movement back into this sacred body. Move your toes and your fingers. Roll your head. Draw the knees in towards your chest. Hug in. It's a lovely tuck. And then roll over to your side. And as you are ready, come on up to sit. We complete our practice of restorative yoga together, So grateful for your presence. Thank you so much for coming. Namaste.